I speak it though, I speak it though. What's on your mind, it's deep though. I speak it though, we on the air, just take it there, I'ma take it there. Hold up. Yeah, I'm talking about it, but I'm real about it. I speak on it, but don't catch feels about it. We can chop it up like it's nothing, baby.
What's going on, everyone? We are here live here on OT Radio Show, and man, oh man, we got a good show for y'all today. Now, y'all know NFL drafting already came and went, and we talk about football all the time, but now it's like yesterday. I had my man on from the Patriots. Now I got my man on current NFL linebacker, now present San Antonio linebacker for the Browns. He played for Carolina, Seattle, the Bears. Please welcome Joel Iggy Iyiegbuniwe. Just like that. Hey, did I get it right?
Yeah. Man, well done, brother.
Oh, man, appreciate you, man. Well, listen, man, it's an honor to have you on right now because I know you got a busy schedule and stuff like that. So thank you so much for joining me here on the show. Definitely appreciate you so much for joining us. Well, man, hey, first of all, how are you feeling today?
I'm blessed. I woke up today. God gave me another 24 hours to do what I do, to be great. And so I never take that for granted, man.
Blessings. All right, well, let's dive into it, man. Who is Joel Iggy Iyiegbuniwe? Who is it?
Joel Iggy is a Nigerian, born in Chicago, who values family, who values being a good person, waking up every day, to do the best job I can do. Originally from Chicago, I moved to Kentucky, where I started playing football. That took me to play at Western Kentucky. And then by the grace of God, was able to get drafted by the Bears, play for them for 4 years. From there, I went to Seattle, from there to Carolina. And then now currently I play in the UFL for the San Antonio Brahmas.
Oh, man. Beautiful. So let's dive right into it, man. What inspired you to pursue a career in professional football? And how did you overcome challenges along the way?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a pro athlete. When I was a kid, I didn't know which sport. It was either going to be basketball or football, but the goal was to be a professional. And so as I grew up, as I started to mature, football kind of took the lead over basketball, and my talent started to show in that sport. So high school, I believe my sophomore, junior year, really started to excel above my peers, and it was up and up from there. So there definitely, in any sport, in anything in life, there's challenges that come with trying to aspire to be somewhere, trying to achieve something. And I had my share of injuries and, getting playing time and things like that. And that's just part of it. But one thing about me is I don't quit, and I always keep going. I always keep working. And at the end of the day, things will sort itself out, right? And the cream rises to the crop, to the top, I mean. And so, yeah, definitely been a great experience, and I've learned a lot of life lessons playing the game, and that's been great.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some of them life lessons have you learned, you know what I mean, since people are watching and people watching the replay. With some of the life lessons?
Yeah, man. I think the first thing is hard work, sacrifice. Playing any sport, you have to, if you want to be the best, you're going to have to sacrifice certain activities, whether that's hanging out with friends, eating bad, doing certain recreational activities, family time, friends time, things like that. And so sleep other times. So those sacrifice and hard work were two of the first things that as a kid you start to see, okay, how do I separate myself from the competition? A lot of people, want to play video games. They want to stay out late, stay up, and I had to decide, okay, especially I remember when I was in college, having full semester of classes, having practice, workouts. There's not a lot of, you have to cut something out. So for me, I had to sacrifice, a lot of partying or hanging out, and I needed my rest, or to study the plays or get the workout in. And that's, definitely was a big contributor that I've learned is how to manage your time and how to, prioritize what's important.
Beautiful. Man, because I know that's a struggle, especially when you're an athlete and you have friends and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And when you're young, and, you're in college and high school, there's a lot of distractions, of course. So it's a good lesson to learn at that age, and it'll take you far in the rest of life because life is way longer than the time you're playing football. So you want to learn those lessons early.
I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. So let's go through. Because you was a fourth round draft pick, right? So let's go through. How did you feel being drafted, and what are all the things that you had to do, especially in the combine and stuff like that? Because we see it on TV,
Yeah,
but when you talk to a person that actually did it, take us through that a little bit. What
man.
was your feelings about it?
Draft,
How was it?
yeah, the draft just ended, and man, watching those guys get drafted took me back, and every year it takes me back, but it's an unbelievable time that changes your life forever. And I remember exactly where I was at. I was in Bowling Green, Kentucky, which is where I went to college, also where I grew up. And I was hanging out with my mom. The first night of the draft, I was just hanging out with my mom. Didn't think I was going to get called that first night. So me and her were but I was ready. Me and her were just, hanging out. And we actually went for a walk that evening, just trying to get my mind off because it's stressful. It's nerve wracking. And so we were just talking and walking. And I remember the next day, day two, was when I got drafted. And I was actually by myself that day. And the call came in, and the head coach called me, got the confirmation. And as soon as it happened, 30 seconds to a minute later, it was announced, and my phone went crazy. So it was an unreal experience that I can't even really properly do justice by explaining it. But going into that, a lot of prep. I was invited to the combine. A lot of prep was put in those months before. And like I was saying, eating right, sleeping right, making sure your technique is good, making sure you're healthy and you're ready to go. And so all that stuff mattered. And I did my best to be ready. And so I was able to perform well at the combine. And then once I got to Chicago, I was able to start my professional career healthy and on a good slate.
So let's get into that a little bit. So what were some of the lessons you learned from your experience of playing in Chicago, Seattle, Carolina, and how have they shaped you as far as your approach in the game?
Yeah, so many lessons. I think being a professional is when you're around guys like Khalil Mack, Danny Trevathan, and guys like that. Those are some of the leaders on defense in Chicago. Those early years for me in Chicago, like you see how they work, how they approach, their mentality. Those things, they just seep into the whole team, really. And so I was able to absorb that. I was able to, take that. I think I already had certain qualities of a professional before I got to Chicago. And I think that was a credit to my college coaches, my parents, peers, things like that, mentors. But getting there and seeing those guys work, seeing how they approach the game, I was able to definitely pick up very quickly on those things.
Now, when you talk about like like injuries and stuff like that, right? How do you handle some of the pressure situations or setbacks during games, and what strategies do you employ just to bounce back and stay focused sometimes?
Yeah, you have to have a next play. You have to have a short term memory sometimes, because injuries happen, mistakes happen, setbacks happen, and you can't be those guys who's you're only here when it's good. You're only up when things are going well, right? You have to prepare for the hard times, and not everybody has that. Not everybody can go through some stuff and bounce back from it. But I think one of my biggest mentors was Kobe Bryant. And
Mhm.
watching him in high school, middle school, shaped that mentality of being able to bounce back from anything. The world's going to throw you all types of things, challenges, and you have to face it head on. You have to face
Mhm.
it head up. You got to run through that wall, or you're going to get left behind. And so football has so many like life lessons you can learn from it. And I think sports in general does too, but football
Yeah.
is, it's a tough man's game. You know what I mean? If you're trying to build like good qualities, for the future,
Mhm.
football has a great job, because they'll punk you if you let it. So it'll definitely punk you, and but it can teach you and make you extremely tough, and I think that's what it's done for me.
So how important is team camaraderie?
Team camaraderie it's extremely important. I think it's not harped on enough nowadays. It's a lot of individuality, but like today, but
Mhm.
team camaraderie, it shows. The teams that win, teams that do well, they have that. The organizations that do well, they
Mhm.
have. When that's not up to par, it shows. And I'm sure, like it's anything else in any business, in corporate, in any group setting, if there's not a camaraderie there,
Mhm.
and that it shows. And so if you look at any sport team across any, the winners usually have that, and the ones that are bickering, the ones that are selfish
Mhm.
and about themselves, it shows. And I think it's another great sports. It just has so many great qualities and lessons that if you don't play sports, you won't understand. But then you get into like your career, and you realize like some people don't know anything about discipline,
Mhm.
camaraderie, selflessness. You know what I mean? So I think it's not harped on enough. Team camaraderie.
Hmm. I agree. I definitely agree with that, man. Because when we talk about that, especially with the young kids today, it's like it's me. It's all about me, but the team got to win, right? So team camaraderie, just like you said, it's not expressed enough, which it should be.
Right.
Um, so let's transition from the NFL now to the UFL, right? Share with someone like different kind of memories or highlights because you're still playing for them. So how is it different from the NFL to the UFL?
There's little differences. I think they're both professional leagues. The NFL is obviously more teams, longer season, things like that. UFL is a little bit more shorter season, less teams. But at the end of the day, football is football. And so you come into work, you come in, great attitude, right? Team, looking to improve the team, contribute individually with your talents, which will make the team better. And that translates to wins. And right now, we're rolling. We're 4-1, leading our conference, and we're looking to keep that thing rolling. We're halfway through the season. There's
Uh-huh.
10 games, and so yeah, it's been great. We have a great group of guys, great coach, and everyone Everyone wants to win and, get back to the league, of course. So
Right.
when that common goal is, you know, at the forefront, then it's good for everybody involved.
Now, talking about that a little bit, because when we talk about the NFL, we talk about the UFL, everybody be like, it's a little bit different, but to me, the mentality is still the same when it comes down to football, comes down to the sport, right? The mentality is still the same, regardless if it's the NFL,
Yep.
UFL, USFL,
Yep.
anything, even Arena League, the mentality is still the same. Um, can you share with us some things that will help our young kids mentally to stay focused when it comes down to sports? What are some key things that you could say to these
Yeah.
young kids out here, man?
Yeah. Nowadays, it's so hard for these kids with the distractions they have with social media and things like that. People in their ear telling them this and that. They're looking at this person on Instagram. This coach is saying this person. So I think one is having a good, uh, like a good household where whether it's a parent or a mentor or a family member that can like steer, you know, them in the right direction, because they have so many people saying things left and right. And you need to have like a clear voice that's a trusted voice that you can listen to. But individually for the person themselves, I think they just have to understand, what do I want? What do I want to achieve? And how can I get there and separate myself from the competition? Like if that's your goal, it could be make it to the NFL. It could be make it to, the CEO of my company or the head of, this business, whatever it is. They need to like visualize that.
Mm-hmm.
They need to write it down or, make it known, okay, this is the goal. And then how do I separate myself from my competition? Because that's really the challenge, right? You got to, the process of getting to that is where most people fail and don't know how to do that. And so I would say write down your goals, and then right after that, like, how do I achieve this? How do I separate myself? Find, if you can find someone, like I had Kobe Bryant, and I just watched all his videos. You know what I mean? I had my parents as well.
Right.
That great advice for me and gave me great direction. But Kobe was a different beast, and he was in that field of sports, and he was able to just, I was able to just soak all that in. And so that's what I would say for all the kids, man. Find someone, your favorite player, your favorite actor, your favorite anything, and just take the good advice there, because they all give the advice nowadays. You can go on any YouTube video, you can go on Google, you can go on Instagram, and they're usually something on there, a video of them, speaking of how their background history, their upbringing, how they kind of were able to get to where they're at. And so, I would say use that for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, how good is it, or can I say, can you define for me why kids today, especially athletes, should be very professional? Some of them are wilding out. Some of
Yeah,
these kids is wilding out. And how important is it to be professional,
yeah.
especially when it comes down to, you pursuing your dreams?
hmm it's funny because you can get away with it in sports sometimes, especially if you're very talented. But once you're done with football or basketball or whatever sport, you're not going to be able to get away with it when you're venturing into your next, or your family, or, any other area of your life. If you're not sharp, it's going to show. So a lot of people, they think I'm really talented, I can act a certain way. And maybe they, they're the star player, so they get slapped on the wrist here and there, and it doesn't really show on the field, but their family life, it shows, right? Their personal relationships, their significant other shows, their kids, things like that. You can't get away with it. And so being a professional and being like, you want to be a professional in all regards in your life. You want to, you know, strive to be the best at everything. And if you're not trying to do that, then I think you're doing a disservice, you know, to yourself and your future potential.
Hey, I agree. I agree. I agree. So, what is on tap for you after the UFL season end? What are you planning on doing? You
Yep,
know what I mean? Let's get the details.
no doubt. So once the season's over here, I will be getting ready. I'd stay in shape for the NFL season coming up right after that. Training camp will start, you know, late July, August. So I'm hoping to be on the roster by then. And so I'll just be staying ready, staying in shape. But in the meantime, I like to keep myself busy by, you know, doing some real estate investing. I like to do a little bit of modeling. I do a little something with FashionNova Men, and so I'm hoping to get into a little bit more stuff. Whether it's, you know, a little bit of, maybe I'll take some acting classes, you know, and try to dip my foot in different things. But I have a lot of things that I like, and so, you know, I'm 28, got a lot of life to live, and while I'm playing football, as long as I can, I want to also step into other things as well. And then I should also say I went to college. I studied medicine, pre-med, so that was always my plan B, was to go to med school, become a surgeon, orthopedic surgeon. And so that's also on the cards, right?
Mhm.
I'm back while I've been playing, but as I'm getting older, I'm starting to reel it back in a little bit. So I got a lot of different options for sure, and I'm blessed to have the things in place that I do.
Blessings, blessings, blessings. Well, hey man, I definitely appreciate you joining me today, man.
Thank you, man.
Oh man, it was a good show, man, because you know, you gave a lot of insight, especially, you know, the NFL career. And it's still going on now.
So,
Just like you said, you know, you're doing the UFL and then next thing, you know, training camp and stuff going to start opening up. But talking about just a little something, when you say gotta be mentally prepared, right? Um, not knowing how is it not knowing but
it's
still mentally you know what I mean, mentally
yeah,
prepared for it.
it's tough. It's tough not knowing, but still having to prepare. You know what I mean? And I think it's a lesson a lot of people, I guess I should say, go through. You know, because it teaches you how to be disciplined. It teaches you how to have faith, how to work, and not know if something's going to happen or pan out. And I think a lot of people, it really tests your how bad you want something. You know, it really
Yeah.
if you're really in it for the right reason, or if you're just in it for some perks or for some dollars or for some. And I think I learned that, you know, last season, 2023, I was a free agent. And so you had to stay ready. You didn't know if the call was coming week 1 or week 17. And if you take a week or two off and you get
Mhm.
that call and you're not ready, well, there goes your chance. And so um, I was able to learn all those, you know, things that I just mentioned, and how to prepare, and have some faith that things are going to work out.
Yeah. Hey man, well, hey man, we gonna see you on the roster. So I already know we gonna see you on the
We speak it.
roster.
It's already spoken. It's already written.
Yep, yep, it's already written. So we don't even gotta say no more.
Nah, we don't, man.
All I gotta know is when is the first game. That's all I gotta know. I gotta know when is
what
the game.
what team playing? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So all right, man. Well, listen, man, you know, I thank you once again for joining me here in the show, man. I definitely appreciate you joining me, man.
Absolutely.
Taking time out, you know, because I know you working, working. So
Always.
you just yeah. So you just taking this time out just to have conversation with me is definitely an honor and a pleasure, man. So tell everybody where to find you at on social media or
No,
websites.
yeah. Follow me on all socials, Instagram, Twitter, IG underscore NACIOUS underscore Ignatius. And then you can Google me, Joel Iyiegbuniwe. Holla at me, you know what I mean? Tell me what's up. But yeah, man, thanks for having me on. I had a blast. Anytime you want me back, man, no doubt I'll hop on here, brother.
Definitely. Well, hold on a minute, man, before we let you go. Y'all, we'll be right back here at the OT Radio Show. Oh man, definitely. Well, listen, y'all. You know, what I mean, good show today. We definitely enjoyed him here. Make sure you go ahead and follow him. IG_NACIOUS underscore. Y'all see it right there at the bottom. Y'all see it. He joined us here today. My man Joel, appreciate you for joining us. Hey, and make sure y'all go ahead and go to board.org at the Ring Tanzimore. We do have 2 scholarships for high school kids with a 2.5 GPA that's studying in the medical field. Y'all make sure if you know anybody, sign them up because we got 2 scholarships for them. Deadline is November the 21st. Let me tell y'all something. I want to tell you how hot it is. We already got like 491 applicants. 491 applicants. Y'all just heard me and I just said it just like that. So, hey, we get donations, we can get more. All I'm going to keep telling y'all, we love the kids. They our future. Make sure y'all take care of the kids. Make sure y'all donate. Make sure y'all do all that. Make sure you go to board.org at the Ring Tanzimore. Scholarship for any high school senior with a 2.5 GPA. Hey, that's all you need, 2.5. Go ahead and submit that essay. Come holler at your boy OT. And once again, thank y'all for joining us here in the show. Thank you for watching it. Tomorrow, y'all, I got a legend coming on from Apollo. Yes. Y'all know. Y'all see it. Kiki Shepard. Woo! I remember Kiki Shepard. Yes, sir. She is joining your boy OT to talk about what's going on with her, how she been, how she feeling, and she's still fine as ever. 72 years old and still fine as ever, y'all. I'm just going to keep it a buck with y'all. But listen, I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for my girl Kiki Shepard going to join us here at the show. All right, y'all. Peace.